Could Lister have influenced or even created the entire cat religion of worshipping Cloister himself without even knowing it, perhaps years or decades after he came out of stasis? We know from the Series 1 episode Future Echoes that Red Dwarf passed the speed of light, and when it did so, some really cool going-ons occurred because of what the show calls Future Echoes, where as the ship passes the speed of light, the crew start to see little glimpses of the future, and the faster they go above light speed, the further into the future echoes appear from, with Lister eventually seeing an image of himself from about 150 years later. But what if this wasn't the first time that the Red Dwarf ship passed the speed of light? What if it had happened centuries before, even millennia earlier, while Lister was still in stasis? Now you might be thinking, hang on Dan, Holly would have mentioned it, but actually there's a precedent for Holly not mentioning things that are kind of important, such as in Body Swap from the 3rd series, where the guys are all panicking, thinking they're going to die from the ship self-destructing, all that panic because Holly hadn't actually mentioned that she'd already got rid of the self-destruct bomb. So Holly, perhaps not mentioning something that he or she's already done, well, it wouldn't be without precedent on screen. Plus, in the episode, Holly just says,
"I have to navigate a ship the size of a city through speeds never before encountered in the human sphere of experience."
But that doesn't negate Holly having encountered light speed while Lister was still in stasis. Holly's not human. And also, when Holly describes Future Echoes, the guys want to know what's going on. Holly just says, "Oh, that, you're seeing Future Echoes, didn't I explain this to you?"
"You're seeing Future Echoes, didn't I explain this to you?"
He just sort of dismissively, flippantly says it like it's obvious, like it's something he's already seen before. Alright, but why would Red Dwarf passing lightspeed when Lister wasn't even awake to experience it? Why would that have any significance on the Red Dwarf timeline and on the cats? Well, presuming that the cats would have still been on board when the ship passed lightspeed, they would have seen future echoes of things that were going to occur. That could have influenced their progression and influenced their religion. For instance, we've seen prophecies about Lister or Cloister already come true. Like the blind cat priest when he says, "Is he wearing the donut and the golden sausage?"
Is he wearing the donut and the golden sausage?
Which Lister is indeed wearing. How would the cat priest know about this? He can't see Lister coming in. Well, what if when Red Dwarf passed lightspeed hundreds or thousands of years earlier, what if when it did, the cats saw a future echo of that exact moment? They saw a future echo of Lister arriving wearing the donut and the golden sausage. Then that future echo vision that they see influences their religion and it gets treated as a prophecy. There's even the name given to Lister by the cats. They call him Cloister instead of Lister. But what if that's not just a Chinese whisper's mispronunciation that's come down through the generations of the cats? What if that's because they saw a future echo of him arriving wearing the donut and the golden sausage, where he announces, "It is I, Cloister."
It is I, Cloister!
What if he inspired his name in their religion? Which is funny, because he only says it because he knows that's what the cats call him. So is it one of those cool bootstrap paradoxes, where it's like, who said it first? Lister only says Cloister because he knows that's what the cats call him, but the cats only call him Cloister because they saw a future echo of him calling himself it. Kind of a fun paradox there, and one to really tangle your mind up. And we could apply this to loads of parts of the cat mythology, like them going off in their arks and searching for the promised land. Perhaps that was inspired by a future echo of the conversation where Holly translates the cat holy book and tells Lister about the cat arks.
Well, finally they called a truce and built 2 arks and left Red Dwarf in search of future.
Or the cats could even have seen a future echo of themselves leaving in arcs, inspiring them to eventually build and leave in arcs. There's loads of stuff to do with Lister or Cloister that could well have been influenced by future echoes. For instance, in Waiting for God, Lister's moaning about the fact that he's supposed to have given these holy laws that mustn't be broken, and he can't believe that they believe he gave them the laws.
I'm supposed to have given them 5 sacred laws? It is a sin to be cool.
But perhaps he did give those holy laws just by reading them aloud or having Holly read them out. If that moment was played back as a future echo to the cats, he could have read them aloud and given those holy laws completely by accident. Again, another paradox. I'd love to see this idea in a future Red Dwarf show, maybe Red Dwarf Titan, maybe anything coming up from Doug Naylor, a really sci-fi heavy episode where paradoxes are happening left, right and centre, and perhaps the Dwarfers realise that their current actions are being observed by the cats centuries or millennia earlier, so suddenly the Dwarfers have to be on their best behaviour and try to avoid doing anything stupid that might muck up the cat's development. That'd be a fun episode. Fanfiction required. Well, there you go, fellow Dwarfers. If you want to hear more theories, then check out this video here. And you know what? Why don't you check out my breakdown of Waiting for God, where we really look at all the nitty-gritty of that episode.
I'm not a god. I've just been misquoted.
It's as we always imagined. Truly humble.